It is now time for the phase of the litigation between Ripple and the SEC that deals with the final verdict. There was a smaller penalty provided by the government, which was $2 billion, but Ripple declined it for $12 million. This is because Ripple has rejected a reduced sentence that was offered by the SEC, demonstrating the importance of establishing a set of guidelines. It's true that Ripple has a negative opinion of the regulatory strategies employed by the SEC. It is possible that the ruling in the case will have a substantial impact on the price of XRP. Additionally, it is possible that the entire cryptocurrency market will disapprove of the SEC's offer of a reduced penalty, which is $12 million. Ripple Labs filed a notice of supplemental authority with the court on July 2, 2024. During the course of the legal battle that lasted for 3.5 years, a significant shift in strategy has been implemented by Ripple, which is to challenge the regulatory approach that is being utilized by the SEC. The business contends that the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) does not have laws that are easy to understand and that it requires explicit legislative power over the Court of Judges and Analysts of Tours of the United States. Ripple intends to challenge the method taken by the SEC by making use of the recent court victory that Binance achieved. The business organization maintains that formal law is necessary due to the fact that the procedures of the SEC are not consistent and do not have any clear restrictions. According to the rationale that Ripple presented in the notification, the Howey test does not correspond very well to intangible digital assets. With regard to the paradigm, it is anticipated that the SEC will make reference to the conclusion of ASCCC Terraform Labs in response to Ripple's notification of the extra authority. The manner that the SEC takes to regulating the business has been called into doubt by Ripple, which stated that it creates uncertainty for investors. According to the decision that Judge Rakoff made in that particular case, Terraform Labs and its creator Quan had violated securities legislation since they had failed to register Terra and Luna as securities. It is predicted that the result in this legal issue will have a substantial impact on the price of XRP as well as the greater cryptocurrency market. Additionally, it is possible that XRP will be triggered by Ripple's success, just as it did after his partial victory the year before. On the other hand, a victory for the SEC could result in a decline in the market for Bitcoin. The ongoing action between the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) and Ripple is having a huge impact on the market for Bitcoin. There is a good chance that the most recent filing from Ripple and the anticipated response from the SEC will have an impact on the way that digital assets are regulated in the future. After some time has passed, the ruling that the court makes will have an effect on the market. A few of analysts are of the opinion that the long-awaited final decision might be made in the month of July. Finally, the decision that each and every one of us has been anticipating will be made. Since July is such a significant month, why is it considered to be such an essential month? An attorney named Fred Raleigh, who is in support of XRP, is of the opinion that Judge Torres will make a decision regarding remedies before the end of July, or at the very least by the 13th of July. As a further point of interest, Ripple has suggested that even though a prejudgment settlement is highly improbable, there may be certain unresolved disputes that are still open to negotiation. Additionally, he remarked that historical significance can be attributed to these dates. As a result of Judge, I tore as an important decision from the previous year which classified XRP as a non-security and had a substantial impact on the price of the cryptocurrency. I did this because I was impressed with the decision. Ripple is of the opinion that the fine should be capped at a maximum of $10 million. Nevertheless, the Securities and Exchange Commission has demanded a massive penalty of $2 billion. Taken further consideration within the framework of the ongoing legal battle between Ripple and its creditors. The relevance of the 13th of July in historical perspective. The 13th of July is a day that is remarkable because it is the anniversary of the historically significant ruling that Judge Torres made, which said that XRP is not a security. This verdict can be found in the United States Patent and Trademark Office. The price of XRP jumped by a factor of 2 in just a few hours as a direct consequence of this ruling, underlining the potential for major market volatility depending on the outcome of the dispute between the two parties. As demonstrated by the date that the Rye Sweep proposed for the final decision, it is optimistic that Ripple and its investors would have a similar favorable conclusion. This is because the date was recommended. The current situation of the legal challenge is no longer the major focus of the litigation that is being filed to evaluate whether or not XRP is a safeguard against discussing the monetary sanctions that are linked with the case. It is alleged that you are providing the sale of securities that were not registered. The lawsuit against Ripple seeks damages that might amount to billions of dollars. Ripple is obligated to compensate for the misfortunes, reverberate, on the other hand, has replied by stating that the claims for damages filed by the SEC are unwarranted and that they should be lowered to $10 million. The CC has just reduced their demand to $12 million, which indicates that Ripple would be in a better position to gain if they were to receive the funds. The Ripple cryptocurrency, on the other hand, did not accept this offer. Both sides offer their recognized legal reasons regarding the severity of the financial penalties that will have an effect on the market for cryptocurrencies during the damages dispute, which is an essential stage of the action. This stage is an important aspect of the action. Ripple has chosen to decline the offer provided by the SEC to decrease its penalty to $12 million, which has resulted in the current scenario with XRP being rather precarious. Ripple and the XRP cryptocurrency, which has already incurred legal expenses totaling more than $200 million and is currently trading at 48 cents, may be affected by this action. Ripple in particular has already endured legal expenses. In the event that market sentiment is good, XRP may experience additional gains with a 14% increase in trading. Volume reaching $862 million. In the past week, XRP has increased by 1.5, and in the past 24 hours, it has increased by 0.8. The total volume of trade has increased to $862 million. When asked about when he anticipated the end of the SEC's action against Ripple, which has a big impact on the cryptocurrency that is widely utilized, Fred Rispoli, who is a well-known lawyer and an enthusiast of XRP, was questioned. For his part, Rispoli responded with accuracy by proposing not just one but two dates for the same event. The result of the case, which has been lingering for more than 3 years, is expected to be released on July 31st, according to a legal expert who claimed that he believes the verdict will be announced. On the other hand, Rispoli is of the opinion that it would be rather more poetic if the lawsuit against Ripple that was brought by the CC was determined on July 13th. This is owing to the fact that Judge Torres' ruling from the previous year, in which she ultimately declared XRP due to its lack of security, would be more poetic. During that time period, the date in question is significant. On the 31st of July, the price of Bitcoin was. On the other hand, if she were to perform on July 13th, that would be poetic. It is essential to keep in mind that the parties are continued to argue about the precise amount of damages that should be awarded. Ripple experienced a significant setback when it was ruled that sales of assets to XRP institutions were considered to be unregistered transactions. This is the most significant challenge that Ripple has encountered today. Ripple is now required to pay for these particular remedies as a result of the error that occurred. The amount of the disgorgement, on the other hand, was the element that resulted in significant litigation. Despite the fact that the cryptocurrency company has reached a settlement deal for a maximum of $10 million, the Securities and Exchange Commission of the United States is demanding billions of dollars. The continuing legal struggle between Ripple Labs and the United States Securities and Exchange Commission has entered a new phase with the filing of a supplemental authority notice by Ripple Labs and its submission to Judge Analysis at Torres on July 2, 2024. This marks the beginning of a new chapter in the ongoing legal battle. Through the use of this notification, Ripple hopes to bolster its position in opposition to the SEC's demand for a definitive decision. Ripple claims that the regulatory methods utilized by the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) are effective and inconsistent, particularly with regard to the utilization of court decisions to enforce control over the cryptocurrency industry. This argument is supported by the recent court verdict that Binance received. Exactly what is the success that it achieved with the submit that it made? The Howey test is another name for the standard security architecture, and Ripple underlined that